Welcome everybody to the meeting. Blythe is not here, but if you would like to pay for t-shirts, come see me right after the meeting. $5 for dues paid members, $10 for dues on top of that if you have not yet paid dues. And we hope to get them ordered next week, so please try to pay by next Monday. If you are unable to pay by next Monday, just let us know and we'll still get you a shirt and just arrange something on the side. Coming up this weekend is our first Biosphere 2 Outreach Day. We'll meet here in the parking lot behind Steward at 8 a.m. and we'll head out to Biosphere. And at the Biosphere we'll be doing all sorts of demonstrations. We'll be explaining our star model, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a few minutes. We're going to be doing a solar system walk, and for those of you who haven't really seen it, essentially you start off with an 8-inch diameter ball, like a basketball or a volleyball or something, and you use that as a sun, and you walk different steps using different objects. Jupiter is about this size, Earth is about this size, and you just take steps away from the sun, and it's really cool, and people are like freaked out about how big space is. The other activities that we're doing are solar telescopes. We'll be running a couple telescopes looking at the sun, looking for sunspots and solar flares, and also we will be doing liquid nitrogen, dry ice, and water ice demonstrations to kind of help explain that things can be very cold in the universe, like there's dry ice type comets, and it's much different from water ice. We also hope to make liquid nitrogen ice cream for the first couple hours, so come just for the free ice cream if you want. But if you want to help out with that, I already have a sign-up list from a bunch of people who are interested, but for the demonstrations I have a new sign-up list, and I want you to put the rank of which activities you primarily want to do, starting with 1 as the thing that you really want to do, all the way down to 4 with the one that you least want to do, and I'll figure out who will be helping out with which demonstrations. We'll probably do rotations because we're going to be there for 4 hours, but just let me know which activities you want to help run. Also, when you do sign up for these, I will send out further details about a couple of the specific things that we're doing, like the information about like the distances and the size models, and I'll send you that in an email. So I wanted to kind of show you this video that I found that we might show. It's up to you at Biosphere. Talks about the sun.
I know the sun is a big ball of gas, and it's 99% of our solar system's mass. It's an average star in our Milky Way, warming the Earth every day. What powers our sun and makes it so bright? Come on and tell me what makes all that light. Hans Bethe long ago reached the conclusion it changes hydrogen to helium by nuclear fusion. When fusion takes place, light is created and it makes its way up, although rather belated, through the photosphere. That's the part that we see. The light comes out and shines on you and me. About 1 million Earths could fit in the sun, but if you were there you wouldn't have much fun. It's 6,000 degrees at the photosphere, and much hotter inside the solar atmosphere. There are a few places where it's not so hot, like at the center of a big sunspot. But heat is relative, it's still pretty warm. Sitting on a sunspot would do you great harm. Galileo discovered sunspots. What are those things those funny dots? They're cooler parts, scientists feel, caused by a stronger magnetic field. The spots move around the face of the sun, proving to all solar rotation a strange kind of movement to do a full roll. 25 days
in the middle, 36 at the pole.
What about flares? I've heard of them here. Like giant explosions in the chromosphere. The magnetic fields above the sunspots reconnecting again after being in knots. Above the chromosphere, the corona is placed. It's millions of degrees
And reaches way into space.
It's very thin, but read my lips.
That's the part that you'll see in a solar eclipse.
That's the end of our
Song about Mr. Sun.
We hope that you find that learning is fun,
But never look at the sun.
you could go blind. Just keep on enjoying that warm sunshine.
It's an interesting video, to say the least. It's done by an a cappella group called the Chromatics, and a few years ago they came out with a whole CD with similar space-themed songs. But that kind of summarizes almost everything that we're going to be doing at the Biosphere. So I was wondering what people's opinions were on, should we play this as kind of an introduction to what we're doing at the Biosphere? Raise your hand if it's too long.
And it's not loud enough.
Well, we can make it louder.
But I mean, like, they don't enunciate well enough. I feel like people won't be able to understand what they're saying.
Well, I mean, it's pretty fast and it goes over a lot of stuff, but I don't know. It gives a pretty good overview of the sun and like most of the activities that we'll be doing. So
They might be giant sun.
that too. But I don't know, who would want to show that video to the public? I don't know. Who would not want to show it to the public? Who really doesn't care? Okay, we'll probably bring this with us. It all depends on like our setup. I'm not exactly sure where in the Biosphere we're going to be. Probably in one of their big conference type rooms. So
Can we have that playing like off to the side?
we could.
What about at the end of your presentation? Just say like, oh, in summary.
That might work too, yeah. So we have a couple days to think about it, so awesome. I also wanted to show you a funny looking video. So Star Parties last week, thank you to all the people mentioned for the Pima Hall Star Party. That was like the worst location ever, but we still were able to see Jupiter and a couple other things. So thank you for those who helped out with that. Also, thank you to Carmen for helping me out at the Sierra Oaks Community School in Oracle. Essentially, we were the talk of the town. This was on a reader board, electronic reader board at the fire station out in Oracle. So it was a really fun event. So I encourage you, if we do go to public Star Parties, it's not just the people learning, it's us learning too about the night sky, and especially in Oracle, it's away from major city lights, so it's amazing seeing, you can see the Milky Way, and you sometimes are the talk of the town if it's a small town. So I highly encourage people in the future to help out at Star Parties that we participate in. You don't really have to know anything, you can just come, have fun, learn about the night sky, and be the talk of the town. So speaking of Star Parties, we have an upcoming Star Party next week on Tuesday with Yuma Hall. This is the rescheduled event on Tuesday, October 19th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. in front of Flandreau. On that sheet that I passed around is also a sign up for helping out at that event. We need a few people, mostly as crowd control or helping to explain things. We'll hopefully have a few telescopes out on the mall, and along with the SEDS telescope. So we need folks to kind of help out with that and be explainers, and we might take little tours of, like, there's a huge 1.5 meter mirror sitting on the 4th floor of LPL. There's also a mock-up of the high-rise camera sitting in the atrium of Sonnet building. So we're just going to do little explanatory demonstrations with that. So yeah, Chris.
Question, how did time go with the Pima Hall one? Did you guys go for like a full 2 hours?
It was about an hour and a half. Basically, they had a movie night just out in their little courtyard area, and we had telescopes set up, and they just came and just looked at things, talked with us, asked us about our star model that we had there. It wasn't too bad. There were only really a handful of interested people, but I think it'll run much smoother with the Yuma Hall group because it will be in a much better location and we'll have all sorts of activities to do. So please sign up if you're available to help. Also, if you're only able to help for 30 minutes, we could still use you. So just let us know if you're able to help. So project meetings, the Monocular Telescope project has been postponed until next week due to a few things, conflicting schedules. Also, the local astronomical phenomena project. This is what we have come up with so far. Thank you very much to Allison, Bryce, Katie, and Tim for helping out with that over the weekend. Tim helped me with the spray painting. Allison and Bryce helped with the weaving of the net, and doesn't look like it, but this is actually like a majority of the work that's almost already done. These little foam things are actually, this is one of the larger stars, this is the smallest star in the model, and these need to get painted, and then I have all the coordinates for where we hang the stars, so we're looking at maybe a couple more hours of work, but our goal is to finish up this model by Saturday so that we can take it with us to Biosphere. The other little model that we had was actually the Sky Center paid for us to make the little model for them, and they actually need that model now, so we're building our own. The cool thing about our model is that it's going to fluoresce under black light, so hopefully when we get it out to Biosphere, it'll be really cool because it's going to like glow under black light. It's going to be really awesome. So if you're interested in helping out, we just have a few more things to do. But tomorrow from 2:30 onward, we're in the Astronomy Club office. We're going to try to finish up this model and just be done with it. And there are a few other parts of the local astronomical phenomena project, but this is the major part for right now. Also, the Extrasolar Planet project will go on tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the computer lab, and that's a definite go for this week. So speaking of our new office, the new office is open at least 12 hours a week for office hours and just random projects. The office hours are posted on our website on the calendar, and this is just a screenshot of the calendar. It shows all the events for the month of October. Also, I'm going to post right outside the office door a weekly calendar so that you'll know what's going on that week and who will be where, when. And the office is really nice. We have two offices right next to each other. You can come hang out. It's very quiet. Just do homework, work on projects, hang out, come say hi to the lonely people in there, and just check it out. So that's mostly what I had. If you haven't paid dues yet, please pay them. Also, I have a mid-semester evaluation form that I'm going to pass around. Please fill this out. I just kind of want to get some general feedback about the club, how we can make it better, what we can do in the future to make things better. So this was actually the Astronomy Club logo that I found from about 2003 to 2006 when the club kind of died down for a couple of years. The only unfortunate thing is that legally we are not allowed to use the U of A like at all in our logo unless it's completely off to the side and we have permission. So the way that it's embedded right now, we cannot. Yeah, we can't use this logo. But I really like this logo, and I'm glad I found it. So. Pretty cool. So please fill out those evaluations, hand them to me. You can pay me for t-shirts and dues, and that's all that I have. Does anybody have any questions? Also put any other feedback just on the back of the paper.